All right, let's talk about something totally unique. We're going to a place where if you want to mail a letter, you're going to need a mask and fins. Yeah, you heard that right. We're diving into the incredible story of the underwater post office in Vanuatu.
Okay, so think back to the last time you sent a postcard. Was it from a gift shop, an airport, maybe? Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever had to swim to the post box? I mean, literally swim. Well, guess what? In the South Pacific nation of Vanuatu, it's way out there, about 1,000 miles east of Australia, you can do exactly that. Since way back in 2003, it's been home to the world's very first underwater post office. What a unique stop on the global postal route.
So let's get specific. We're talking about a spot just off the coast of a place called Hideaway Island, right in the beautiful, crystal clear waters of Malay Bay. And sitting there, right on the ocean floor, is the world's very first underwater post office. And this isn't just some gimmick. It's a fully functioning, officially sanctioned postal stop.
Now, when you hear underwater, you might be picturing some deep sea abyss, right? But nope, that's not the case here at all. The post office is just 3 meters down. That's about 10 feet. It's super accessible. It's actually shallow enough that pretty much anyone with a snorkel can get to it, no problem. Yeah, you can definitely leave your submarine at home for this one. It's only about 50 meters from the shore. That makes it a really easy, really pleasant swim for snorkelers, certified divers, or, hey, anyone who just wants an absolutely unforgettable story to tell when they get back home.
And like I said, this isn't some newfangled tourist trap. This thing opened way back in May of 2003, which makes it the original, the pioneer. And even today, a scuba diver goes down there every single day to collect the mail. It's still a huge, huge attraction for visitors from all over the globe.
So you gotta be wondering, right? How does an idea this wild even happen? I can tell you this. It wasn't dreamed up in some stuffy corporate boardroom. No, the real origin story is, well, it's so much better than that. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? The creator, a guy named Mike Crawford, said the whole concept came about when one of the resort owners and the local postmaster were just kicking back, having a few glasses of red wine in a cafe. I mean, come on, how fantastic is that? That's how the best ideas happen. And the way they built it was just genius in its simplicity. They basically started with a big fiberglass water tank. Then they added a little gable roof to give it that classic post office look. They cut out a service counter on one side, an entrance on the other, and then they just chained the whole thing down to some rocks on the seafloor. And just like that, an underwater post office was born. Okay, so the logistics. How does this whole process actually work, right? I mean, how do you send mail from a place with no ink, no pens, and, a whole lot of salt water? Well, the journey for your postcard is pretty amazing. Here's what you do. First, you buy one of their special waterproof postcards right there on the island. Then you just swim, snorkel, or dive out there and pop it in the box. From there, a scuba diving mail carrier collects it every day, gives it this unique postmark, and then it's off. It gets sent anywhere you want in the world. But here's the really clever part, how they stamp the mail. Obviously, ink would just smear and disappear instantly in the water. So they came up with this brilliant solution, an emboss cancellation. It's this special device that physically presses a raised, inkless design onto the postcard. It's the only way to prove it came from this one-of-a-kind spot. It really is a genius solution when you think about it. A regular ink stamp, totally useless underwater. But this embosser just uses pressure, so it's 100% waterproof. A trained diver actually has to apply it while they're submerged. It's such a cool way to solve a very unique problem with some pretty simple mechanics. And here's a fun little detail. How do you know if the post office is officially open for business? You just look for the flag. There's a float on the surface right above the site, and if the flag is raised, that means there's a postal worker down in the water ready to collect your mail. Okay, so at this point, you're probably thinking, right, that's it, I have to go do this, and I don't blame you. So let's talk about the practical side of things. How do you actually make a trip to this incredible place?
Getting there is actually pretty straightforward. You'll want to head to Malay Bay, which is near the capital city, Port Vila. You could grab a taxi, but honestly, the most affordable way is to hop on a local minibus to get to the dock. From there, a little ferry will take you on the short trip over to the island. But here's a pro tip. Definitely plan your return trip in advance because transportation can get a little thin later in the evening. All right, let's talk money. Now, keep in mind, these prices can always change, but just to give you a ballpark, the entrance fee to get onto Hideaway Island is about $10 US.
The special waterproof postcard itself is around $5.50. And if you need to rent snorkel gear, that'll be another $6 or so. When you add it all up, it's a really affordable price for what is, let's be honest, a total bucket list experience. Okay, 2 super important tips from people who've actually been there. Number 1, bring cash. The card machines on the islands can be, let's just say, unreliable. And number 2, and this is a big one, bring waterproof shoes. You have to walk over a coral reef path to get into the water, and trust me, you'll be glad you protected your feet. So as you can see, this whole thing is way more than just a quirky novelty, right? It actually represents something much deeper about Vanuatu, and it's created this incredible, lasting legacy. It's really a celebration of Vanuatu's soul, of its identity. I mean, the nation is made up of 83 different islands, so the sea isn't just a place to visit, it's a fundamental part of life there. And this little post office, it's just the perfect physical symbol of that deep connection to their marine paradise.
And you know, it was a total trendsetter. After Vanuatu opened theirs back in '03, a few others have popped up in other places around the world. You can find them in Japan, Norway, Malaysia. In fact, the one in Malaysia now holds the record for being the deepest. But no matter what, Vanuatu will always be remembered as the one that started it all. Which kind of brings us to a final thought, doesn't it? If the sea really is the heart of Vanuatu, then what better way is there to send a message from its very soul? It's about so much more than just sending a postcard. It's about being part of a story that perfectly captures the spirit of this incredible island nation.